Going live. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 3 minutes and counting. 3 minutes and counting. I feel like Vanna White right now. These are my beautiful prizes. There's a tour t-shirt with the stickers and the mug. Yep, I've got that. Got my little stack of books right here. I got my candle. I need to light it. I'm gonna light a candle for my twin. Ooh. Yeah, you can see it.
Can you get me the code? Give me the 2FA code that was just sent to you. Text message. If you can't get to it, that's fine.
Hi there, my twinnie. Didn't come.
Okay, that's fine.
Hi there. Hi there. Hi there. Hi there, Miss Lisa. I am counting down here. 1 minute left. Just waiting. Tennyson, hi, sweetheart. Welcome, welcome to the book launch. Look at it. I'm so excited. Yes, yes. I'm trying to, I have an MC that I can add, and here she is. Miss Maria says a joining. Ooh, ooh, doo, 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 doo. There she is. We did it.
We did it.
Look at
Let me
us.
share it. Let me share it. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Kimmy, Kimberly, Sissy, Joyce. Hi, everybody. Let me share it onto my page. Hold on one second. Pooh.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to do introductions real quick. Yes, please send lots of love, lots of hearts, because you know how I love the love and the hearts. I want to take just a minute to introduce you to my very, very dear friend, Dr. Maria Salas. I have known her for nearly 2 decades. As many of you know, I lived in Redding, California for half my life. And so while I was there, I had an opportunity to cross paths with Maria, and she ultimately became my chiropractor, which was phenomenal, just by the way. She happens to be a twin, so you may recognize her from our first podcast that I posted where we were talking about the twin loss journey, and because that's her podcast. And so when we decided to do a book launch party, I asked if she'd be willing to kind of help me. Yeah, so Dr. Maria is here, and she's a twin, and her twin's name is Josie, and they are beautiful, beautiful souls, massive contributors to the unification of our twin community, and are here to support us as
Yes.
communities, those of us who've lost our twins. They're just incredible ladies. And so welcome, Miss Maria.
Oh, thank you. And I feel so honored to be asked to MC your event. I'm so excited for this book launch. Turning twin loss into living twinfully. So awesome, girl. You did it.
I did.
I mean,
I did. Took me forever, but I did it.
the journey, the steps, everything that it took to get you there. And I know everyone that's on right now is so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm here with Rod and Stacy in Birmingham.
Yes, they are my twinnies.
Shelby Bear is on. Hi, Lisa.
Yay. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is our little, of course, I put 2 of them together because, you know, twinning. These are our little giveaways. So if you guys buy a book, if you've bought the book in the last few days, or you buy a book in the next half an hour, even if it's just the ebook, just send a little receipt. Just send us a receipt. Do it to kimberly.wise@twinful.com. Again, kimberly.wise@twinful.com. She's also monitoring the comments. So in case if you send your receipt there, she will be doing a drawing for the people that send in their receipts, and you will receive this gift package, which includes a nice size mug. This is a big mug. And then inside here is a packet of twin stickers and then a tour t-shirt. Okay, tour t-shirt with all the cities that we just toured. Super, super exciting. And then in case you were wondering about those stickers, let me show you the stickers. There's Journey of 1,000 Healing Hugs.
I love that.
And a hug bug sticker.
Cute.
So cute, right? 4 Deep Breaths. This is in the book, so you need to read the book to learn more about that. So if you don't already know about it, Living Twinfully, this is what's actually on the hood of my car, which is super, super cool. And then this is Hi There, My Twinnies, which you all know. I say that all the time, right?
That's what you say when you open your lives, yes.
And then the little baby Twinful sticker, little baby one. Yeah,
Hi,
so that's
Allison. How cute are these? So everybody that's hopping on right now, if you could say definitely, just like Allison and Kimberly and Shelby, if you could say hello and let us know where you're coming from. What about chocolate? That's what Shelby wants to know.
chocolates, Shelby. Chocolates won't ship well, but you're super cute. So there's a story behind that has absolutely nothing to do with this book.
Got it.
I have included chocolates in my business cards. I think Maria is aware of that for decades, literally decades. I still do it. And so a little Ghirardelli chocolate, and there it is with my business card. It's super fun. So that's her reference to the chocolates. But yes.
Yeah, she was probably the one filling all the bags or taping it.
Yes.
But I wanted to say that I love your community. They're talking to each other. They're saying hello and I love you to each other. I mean, it's the best. Carrie, happy launch day. Look at, I know you haven't said everything you said, but everyone's making so many great comments I want to share with you. Cape Canaveral, Eva Sambathe, Joanna Garza, hi from San Antonio, Texas. Shelby's laughing her booty off right now because of our comments about the chocolate. Stacy Bryant White, hi Tasha, this is Stacy White from Birmingham. Ruben,
I love you.
Congratulations on the book and this book launch. Lori Oliver Gaetano, Lori and Jacqueline, hi from the road. Ooh, that's so cryptic. I like it. Joyce, all these twins, how great. Lisa Watson, hi Stacy White. See, they're saying hello to each other. It's so cute. Kimberly saying hi to Ruben. Gosh, I love this.
This is amazing. And so everybody, I'm so grateful. Please send your hearts, send your love, send all the things. I'm so, so grateful for that. I appreciate everybody showing up right now. And for those of you who have not yet had a chance to get the book, please do so. We're working on Amazon bestseller status, which is super duper, duper, duper exciting. And speaking of which, I wanted to take just a minute because I have these not for resale copies, but you can actually hold these books. I have been able to hold these books, which is incredible. And I'm so grateful that I have a whole stack of them right here that I was able to get just to get an idea of the size, the feel, the quality of the paper off Amazon. Not as high quality as what the author's copies will be. So those of you who've purchased an author's copy, if you haven't yet, but that's what you would prefer, they are higher quality. The image on the front will be crisper, higher thickness of paper, like the paper's higher quality and so on. And those will be signed and then shipped to you. If you buy a ticket on this event, you will be able to get an author's copy. You are not required to do that. They are on sale on Amazon for $9.99. So if you would like an actual copy that you can hold on to, then just go to Amazon. You know, if you don't care whether I sign it or not, do that. And it's okay. I'm okay. I don't care what you do. I just want you to get the book. I'm not attached. But just so you know, there are journaling pages in here because in the G3 cycle, there are some prompting questions to help you facilitate rewiring your brain, which I talk about a lot in the book. And so I want to make sure that just so you know, the value of having an actual book is that you'll have those journaling pages and you'll get to write stuff in it. And then you can throw it on a shelf, put it in a drawer, not look at it for a few months, a few years, whatevs. And then you can find it, come across it, pick it up and read and see, oh, that's where I was at in my journey back then. Oh my goodness. And you can actually witness your evolution in your thought process as a twin lost twin. Super powerful. Okay, so let me read you
love
this.
that quantum leap that people can take, and that you're offering a quantum leap basically for them to just, jump through a wormhole. And can I read comments, or did you have something else you wanted to say?
I want to read them. I want to read them a section of this, but I would really like to see, like, if they're asking specific questions, then yes, we need to answer the questions before they get too far away from us. Are there questions we need to answer?
There is one pertinent. There are a few other funny questions, but there is one that says, do we get the author's copies from your website, Tasha? And I'm sure you just said that, but sometimes it's hard.
Yep. So there's two places you can get the author's copy. You can go to the event on Twinful Twin Tasha and buy a ticket at the event. That gets you an author's copy. Or go to twinful.com. It's on the homepage, and it's like, Tasha, send me a book, or it says something like that. Just click on that, fill out the paperwork. Absolutely, you can get a copy that way as well. Make sure once you've made your purchase that you send your receipt that you received to kimberly.wise@twinful.com. And Kim, I'm going to ask if you could please, or Sissy, I should say, she'll kill me if I call her Kim. Put your email in the comments, Sissy. Woo-hoo! So people know where to send their receipts, and then we will do a drawing here in about 20 minutes. We're going to do our first drawing.
Yeah, because it's already 4:09, and Rod wants to know, do you have any 3XL in the t-shirts or in the shirts?
Yes, I do. I have a whole box full of them. In fact, Rod, thank you for asking. We will be doing an inventory of them. We were trying to get to the book launch, right? This was kind of taking precedence. But I have about half of the t-shirts left over from the tour. And so I was going to put them all up on the twinful.com page so that people can get their tour shirts. Absolutely. For those folks that want them. And yes, we have 3X, 4X, and 5X, just by the way.
Do you offer this in a large print?
We do not, but we made a pretty large print on the book itself. So,
Good to know. Okay.
Yeah, it's not tiny print, and there's lots of white space there. As some of you may, and a lot of you may not know, my daughter is actually visually impaired. So there was absolutely thought put behind that. And the Audible version will be out in 1 month. So if you are visually impaired and you can't read, because there's certainly folks like that out there in the world, I have personally recorded the book myself. It's my voice telling my story. Yeah, that was exciting.
And can I ask you a question? A few people are having a problem signing up for the book. The credit card is not taking all the numbers, so maybe you could kind of check the back end of things for that.
Okay. Perfect.
Bore.
So was that through the Twinful website or through
Holly Crow Beatty mentioned that. So Holly, if you could let us know in the comments where you were trying to get the book, where you had the problem, then that'll help us. Thank you.
Yeah, and in some places, if you're putting a space in between the 4 digits and then a space, it won't let you put all the numbers in. So you don't put any spaces, don't put any dashes, just put the number in. So absolutely. Luis Ortega, what are you doing, friend? Hi. I'm so happy you're here. He's one of my Solid Networks clients. Hi, Luis. I see you. Okay. So I want to take just a second because we're going to do a little bit of a sneak peek into some of the content that's in this book, Turning Twin Loss into Living Twinfully. There are 9 chapters total. 5 are me talking about my story and my path to gaining the tools that are in the other 4 chapters. So 4 of the chapters are the G3 cycle. So I'm going to read out of chapter 2, which is the grief portion of the G3 cycle. The fastest path to gaining power over our grief experience is to understand how it impacts us physically. One of the first things I studied is how grief is experienced in our bodies. As a foundation, I'm going to pivot for a minute and share with you a little bit more about your body, how your brain is wired, and how it's different from singletons. As a twin, you came into the womb and shared your gestation with another being. What you may not know is that researchers have found that because of the physical interaction of twins and how the brain is wired during that process, twins' brains are wired differently than infants, who do not share a womb. Because of you had that close physical proximity, and we've seen the videos, twins, I know you've seen them because they're all over Facebook where they're pushing up against each other. Well, it creates this innate, deeper connection to another human being. In that moment, it happens to be your twin. But that wiring process actually carries out of gestation and makes it so that you're super, super powerful in your interactions with people out of gestation. It's very cool. So because we're wired differently, we have a different biorhythm. The synapses in our brains snap differently. Frankly, they synchronize very quickly with other human beings. When we talk about telepathic communication, that's what that is. When the verbal aspect of our brain is triggered and it's like you can hear messages from your twin, those types of dynamics are because of that real-time interaction with another being inside gestation. It's super cool, super, super powerful. And so the growth aspect, we go deeper into that in chapter 2 about how we're wired and why we navigate differently. And the power of that message isn't just for twins whose twins have passed away. It's for people in general to understand the twin dynamic and not just be a witness to, oh, wow, that's interesting. Well, let's talk about why it's interesting and why it's so powerful. I think that that's super, super important to do. Is it good that I'm reading? Is this a positive thing? Are you guys enjoying me reading?
Oh, yeah, definitely keep going. You have a lot of people that have joined, so I just want to remind you guys who've come on board, maybe Miss Carrie, Miss Raya, or Ria, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Raya.
But Miss Raya, could just let us know where you're checking in from, and thank you for saying hello to Tasha. She's super excited you're here.
Yay! Yes, indeed, indeed, super excited. Okay, so due to our brains being wired differently, the grief experience is considered complicated grief. Much of that is because you have spent gestation in very close proximity to another being, whether your twin passed in the womb, just after birth, in your youth, or as a grown adult. Again, another misnomer is that if your twin passes in the womb, that you're not a twin, and that's a lie. Because even if you're only in gestation with each other for a few months, the reality is your body is being created through that shared experience. And therefore, even womb lost twins have twin superpowers. And when they hang out with twin lost twins like me, they figure that out. So fun. Yeah, yeah. So researchers have discovered that the uniqueness in a twin's brain formation remains the same throughout our community, no matter when your twin passes. And that's powerful. That's strong and powerful. So that's a little excerpt out of the book.
And I also think that, because of plasticity, we can actually grow that. It can get better even still. So just like you around other twins, your brain is expanding and growing, and practice that power, that gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the biggest, I want to say on the tour, one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had by attending Twins Days Festival and being surrounded by literally thousands of living sets of twins, which is just so impactful and powerful. What I realized is that helping to educate them before you lose a twin about the twin full life cycle, what I call the twin full life cycle. So we start out as two souls. It's, to me, that's the one part of us that comes strictly from God, had nothing to do with our physical experience. And when the gestation experience starts, it's the union of our parents that creates our vessels, and God's saying, heck yeah, let's make that happen. That sounds like an adventure. And so the two souls go into gestation. So you have two souls, two bodies, and then we're born, and in some cases we're born together, and some, obviously there's a womb loss scenario, but a lot of twins are born together. So we have our two souls, two bodies. Well, there comes a season in all sets of twins where there is a two souls, one body. What we don't know, obviously, while our twin is still alive, is which one's going to get to have that season. So the more we talk about it before they pass, and Ron McKenzie talks about this a lot in his book, he's also a twin lost twin. His twin's name is Dawn. And he talks about how much they spoke before one of them passed. And it's like, I want to talk about it. Okay, let's not talk about the passing part. let's talk about the soul connection part, okay? Can I get an amen? I want to infuse how powerful our soul connections are, and that when we're willing to talk about that, and we're willing to talk about how we're going to show up for each other, then as we go through the grief process, we're able to tap into that deeper connection, and it helps us survive the two souls, one body season of our twin journey.
Can I read pertaining to what you just read?
What's that?
Can I read a comment pertaining to what you just read?
Oh, yes, of course, please.
So Allison Butler says, I think that's why I couldn't stop crying when I met Holly, Tasha, and Lori. It felt like I was with my people. For sure, girl. Yes.
Yes. And so to clarify why that is so powerful for us as an organization, as a community, I call Twin Unity, what we discover is that we are all each other's people because we have all had that shared womb experience. And so we understand each other and the world in a different way. And the fact when we talk about twin powers unite, there was a cartoon about that back in the day. I subscribe to the notion that that's not just a cartoon, and it isn't just for superheroes, that our twin unity absolutely unites because we're so powerful in our ability to synchronize first with each other and then ultimately with others. And that's why this is so powerful. Turning twin loss into living twinfully really helps educate the twin community about how powerful we are as a community. And that not only can we support, encourage, and uplift each other, but we can ultimately support, encourage, and uplift others in the world. Hey, wow, that's amazing.
Action. It's definitely a superpower for sure. Phoenix, Arizona, chiming in. Rich, Katie Wells from Modesto, California. Your amens in there, Tosh. And there's nothing better than being with our twin friends who have lost their twin. Brings our twinship back, from Dawn Burnett. Very sweet.
Dawn is a hero in our community, just so you know. Miss Dawn Burnett is a hero in our community. She has been part of the twin loss community for over 30 years. She has been a champion for all of us. Miss Dawn, I'm honored and grateful that you're here. Thank you. Look, this is what we're gonna give away. Don't cry.
Oh, they're gonna be tears. My eyes already started watering a little bit. Rod, thank you. I agree completely. When I'm around other twins, my entire being feels full. I also agree with helping others. It has helped me so much. Definitely, when you can step outside of your own grief and help others, oh my gosh, that is such a paradigm shift. Joy.
Absolutely.
Everyone's starting to chime out their number too, which is fun. Joyce, 292 in the book. I think that was from Allison Butler. This is fun. 27. Like, all the numbers are coming through. I love that.
Okay, so let's talk about the numbers, because I know there's some people on here that have no clue. What are the numbers about? So back in 2018, we had a very active twin in our community whose twin had passed 4 years before due to suicide. And 4 years later, he also committed suicide. But before he had done that, he was very, very active in our twin unity and encouraged all of us to meet face to face, because this is great and all. And we can say things and encourage each other and give each other goosebumps and so on, but there is nothing like being in the same space, physical proximity of another twin. It's just transformational. And I didn't know that until I actually got face to face with Lisa Watson. Now, you all know Maria was in my life well before I met Lisa Watson, right? And she's a twin. So it's like, Tasha, why didn't you experience that with Maria? Well, Maria's twin is still alive. So, yeah. So she still had, her twin with her, and there wasn't this loss, this grief experience, this hardwire that no longer had a place to plug in. And so once I met Lisa, my twin had been gone for 4 decades. Her twin had only been gone for 5 months. Literally within 30 minutes, we were finishing each other's sentences. We ordered the same lunch, which I thought was interesting right out the gate. At first I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. We literally ordered the exact same food. And like I said, by the time 30 minutes into it, we're finishing each other's sentences, had incredible dynamic. And so that's when I really understood what I'm sharing with you right now. Trevor told me that would happen, but I didn't believe him. And it took me months to get the courage to actually meet Lisa. And so for all those twin lost twins out there that are nervous and scared and overwhelmed with grief and just like, can't do it, I totally get it. I completely understand. But when you're ready, please give yourself permission to meet face to face, because it is so transformational. And we realize as a twin unity that we still have our body, our mind, and our soul. And our twin power still very much exists within this essence that we have, even though our twin has returned to heaven. So 2 souls, 1 body, super powerful. Let's get it. Yeah. Okay, I think we're getting close to a drawing time.
It is 4:23. We are getting close. I'm going to read what Shelby wrote. Singletons can for sure learn from twins. Being raised by a twin, I feel like I was taught how to connect with others on a deeper level. So true. And she's so grateful for that. And I really see that in my nephew, because, you know, he's homeschooled. He's being raised by his mom at home. And then, of course, I'm around so much. And he's had to just really navigate that whole twin thing. And he's right on it, man.
I love that. I love that. So we're getting ready for a drawing. So if you folks want to be part of the first drawing, make sure you get your receipt over to Kimberly.wise@twinful.com. Again, Kimberly.wise@twinful.com. Purchase your book. It doesn't matter what version, whether you're doing the Amazon version, the Kindle version, the author's copy, it doesn't matter. Just send your receipt and your name will be put into the drawing, and then Kimberly will let us know who wins.
With the art, it's for the mug, the t-shirt, the stickers, and entered into the grand prize, which is an all-expense paid trip to the Butterfly Ranch. Woohoo!
And I drink my coffee in a mug just like this almost every single day. So if you win this and you drink coffee, and you will know that you're drinking coffee with your favorite Twinful twin, Tasha. And the stickers.
That in time today.
What's that?
You had to fit your what you say every day. You had to fit that in. I've purchased both, Diana says. Yay! All the links are here. Kimberly Sissy is making it super easy for you guys. Look at all the fun stickers.
I cannot wait till you figure out what 4 deep breaths mean. If you don't know about that yet, it's absolutely in my book, and I cannot wait for you to talk to me about your 4 deep breaths, because let me tell you, there's something super, super powerful about that. You're like, 4 deep breaths, but they always tell you 3 deep breaths, Tasha. Why 4? Yeah, read the book. You'll figure out. Look, Living Twinfully. Yeah, these are all the stickers that are coming in the gift package. So you guys will have, for your water bottles or your jugs or whatever, you'll have all kinds of stickers to decorate. And then when you're out in the public, people will ask you, what's that? And you can explain.
Yeah, life coping skills. This book is really for anyone. That's what I said when you were on my show. I was like, what, listening to you, and just when you're going through that process and going from A to B, from here to there, I mean, just learning the G3 cycle and the breathing. Oh my gosh, you're right, Shelby. How do you get your receipts from Twinful website? Great question.
So it should be coming to your email. So when you make your purchase, you will get an email receipt from making the purchase, and so that's what you want to just go into your inbox, forward that. And check your junk mail. It may have gone into your junk mail, so go ahead and check that, and then forward it on to Kimberly. You can also say in here, because she's watching all the comments, so we can see everybody that's had a chance to do that. So yeah, let's talk about the G3 cycle for a minute.
Okay.
Grief, growth, gratitude. So I got stuck in grief, and a lot of folks do, only in that it has its season with every loss. It doesn't matter whether it's twin loss or not. And much of that wisdom came from my mom, who lost her dad, my twin, and her mom in a very short period of time, like within a couple of years of each other. She lost all 3 back to back. It was a huge hit for her as an individual. And it took about 10 years for her to get active in my life again. So it wasn't until I was a preteen that my mom was able to really kind of integrate back into parenting. And by my late 20s, I had grandparents that were then passing. And she was the one that started infusing this concept of grief, growth, gratitude, and having the goal to spend more time in the space of gratitude. When you lose someone, it's very hard to find things to be grateful for in the beginning, mostly because our body has created neural pathways and biorhythms that synchronize with that person, that loved one that we have. So why the twin experience is so complicated is because that literally started in our gestation. But in any relationship, there is an element of neural pathways and biorhythm synchronizations that happen. And so when that person loses their vessel, there is a rewiring that has to happen in your physicality to figure out how to navigate the world with them no longer here. And that takes time. For some people, it takes longer than others. It depends on how conscious you are about your experience, how in tune you are with your body, and how good you are at rewiring your brain. If it's something you've been practicing for years and then you lose someone, it's a little easier to get through the process. If you've never had a reason to do that and this is all new to you and you have no idea, it's like a newborn baby. So be gentle with yourself as you go through this process in your life experience. Long story short, we get to a season where suddenly we want to come to a new awareness because we're tired of being miserable. Mm-hmm. We're tired of suffering. Yeah. We're tired of feeling like we'll always be broken. We will always feel pain. We will never feel joy again. When you hit that breaking point, that's when the growth starts. And you move into the season of growth where you gain a new consciousness and new awareness. And once you have that new awareness, suddenly you can see all the things you're grateful for. Yes! Grateful that you had time with that person in your life, grateful all the things that you learned from them, grateful for your shared memories, grateful for the fact that potentially that you're still alive because you have people that love you and you want to spend time with them. All of a sudden, the list of things to be grateful for becomes exponential. That's grief, growth, gratitude, and a summary.
That can be for anyone. You know, this is such a huge thing that you learned from your mom, created this easy to say concept, sometimes hard to do. I can only imagine, you know. Are you pointing to something? Oh.
Yeah, I have a little crystal angel and I lit a candle for Twinful Twin Tanya. I did this right at the beginning. So as you guys, I'm hearing the candle, I'm hearing it flicker behind me. So I'm like, oh, there she is. She's right there in spirit form. Just honoring Tanya right now. My mom actually purchased that angel for us before she passed. And so that's our little testament to her.
Love it. How beautiful.
Okay.
In just a moment.
We're doing it.
I've got a couple people saying that hold on. I've got a couple people saying.
Okay, guys, we're doing 4 drawings on here. If you didn't make it for the first half hour, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. We're doing 4. We're doing 4 drawings.
I'm coming over to spin the wheel.
We're gonna spin the wheel. We have a wheel. Oh, here she comes. Miss Kimberly Ann. Oh, are you coming on?
I am.
That's
our wheel.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Do you want
Okay.
to click?
Go ahead.
Dawn Burnett.
Woohoo, Barney. I think it's Barney. Dawn, you getting the gift package?
Dawn.
Look at you.
Woohoo! I don't know.
The gift package. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Okay,
Thank you for coming to the launch. It means a lot to me.
What's in that, Tasha? It's a mug, stickers, and t-shirt?
My t-shirt. Yeah, the tour t-shirt with all the cities on it.
Oh, I love it. Awesome.
Yep. And so everybody that has purchased a book over the last several days, please know that you all are going to be in the grand prize drawing. Okay. Like you're all going to be in it. So even if there are those of you who didn't purchase a book through this book launch, your name is still being added to the grand prize, because everybody who purchased a book between when we first started on Amazon, which we found out it went live a few days ago, which is why some of you have already purchased a book, and Sunday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be doing the drawing for the grand prize. Woohoo! Yay for us.
Question.
So,
Yes. All right. Wonderful. Do our names stay on? Yes, we answered your question, Joyce. They do, and will also be entered into the Sunday drawing. Yay.
yes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you so much for being here, for celebrating with me, for supporting me in this incredible journey. It has been so amazing. And so are we ready? Like, should we go to the next segment of the book? Like, are you open to hearing another part of the book? Do we want to hear another part of the book?
I do.
Okay.
Everyone's congratulating Dawn, and we are ready, girl.
We're going to go into chapter 4. This is a little segment in chapter 4, which is about growth, which is a perfect segue into what we just talked about. What's next? Give yourself permission to have a moment of stillness, ideally at the same time each day, and do nothing initially. This practice was extremely difficult for me. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a little bit high energy. Anyways, I ultimately found a tool to assist me with guided meditations that included peaceful music. As I focused on the sounds, I was able to release my anxiety and fears about the state of my life. I was able to seek clarity and do nothing until inspired. I learned that it is in that stillness that we gain our greatest clarity. Once we are inspired, and here's the key, once you are inspired, be willing to act. So what I found in my journey is that I had a brain that would non-stop monologue with me. And even when I was in prayer, I would non-stop monologue with God. Poor guy couldn't get a word in edgewise. So I went through this process of realizing that I was constantly monologuing in my mind about the craziness of my life and all of the poor choices that I made, and oh, my twin's been gone forever and a day, and why am I still here, and I don't understand, and here's the decisions that I made that were poor, here's the horrible things that people did to me, here's where my financial state is, here's my blah, 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 blah. It was like word vomit all over myself and God. So when I realized that I wasn't getting any clarity and I was struggling and I was very overwhelmed all the time and I didn't feel confident, I mean, there were so many struggles, I was inspired to take that quiet time. And it took me a while.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure out how to quiet my thoughts so that I could hear the whisper of my soul. It took me a while to learn how to quiet my mind so that I could hear the whisper of my creator. I've had lots of twins comment to me and they're like, oh, you know, you're so inspiring and I can't believe everything you're doing for the community and you've done so much, and between the tour and the tie blankets and, you know, and all the things, and I have to constantly remind them, because I'm always reminded myself, that I don't feel any of those things came from me. I do believe that in that quiet time that these projects have been soul inspired. I asked, twins, I asked God and my twin to guide me because I was miserable, okay?
Yeah.
Miserable. For 36 years, I was absolutely miserable, and I had 7 tumors in my abdomen, and I could not see sideways, straight, whatever. It was, I had been divorced multiple times. I was raising my daughter and my son by myself. Like it was craziness, okay? It was absolute craziness. And so I felt very, very overwhelmed by my life and the state that it was in. And I was tired of it. I was tired of feeling broken. I was tired of feeling lost. I was tired of not having clarity. I was tired of asking, what should I do with my life? And then totally monologuing in my head with all my terrible thoughts that society put in it, and teachers and parents and all the things, all the negative things that got input into my head throughout my life, and all the self-doubt. I was like, shut up. And it took a while. It took months for me to get to the point where I could finally quiet them enough that I could be inspired to do things differently. But I'll tell you what the difference is that once I was inspired, once I was told, at first I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna do that? Oh, no, 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 no. No, I am not gonna be able to write a book. Nice thought, not gonna happen. You know, I immediately went into self-doubt. And so it took me 10 years, guys, from the time I felt I was inspired to write this thing. It has taken 10 years. That's why this party is so monumental. That's why we're celebrating. That's why we're having a lunch party. That's why we're giving stuff away, because it's such a big deal. It literally took me 10 years. And I know some of you have just found me. Like, you're just crossing paths with me right now. So you haven't seen the past 50 years, let alone the past 10 years of what it took to get to this day. So I want to assure you that as you go through your life, and if you're in that space of chaos right now, oh, bless you, bless you. We all have that season. We all have that season. And as you adopt a daily practice to quiet your mind, which is only of this life, quiet your mind, this life experience, this life memories, all of our insecurities, quiet that. As you practice quieting that, you will be inspired, you will be guided, and it will be so impactful and transformational for you. And I'm excited to celebrate that with you, because you're here celebrating with me. It's great. It's great. Any questions? Do we have questions, Miss Maria?
Not a lot of questions. I love that everyone is still sort of saying hi to each other and supporting each other. Diana Smith says, I agree that I feel most at peace is when Donald comes to me. My biggest obstacle is my family. They beat me down so much. It's funny, I have felt that I need to write a book about Donald. Yeah, there's some irony there. And we get downloads during the night, Tasha, like you said, soul inspired, and gifts from, the other side. So take it and run with it.
So I would say this message that we get beat down by our families, especially in a twin loss scenario, is very, very common in our twin unity, which is why I highly encourage all of you to detach from the notion that you will be loved and supported and guided by your loved ones. There are some twins that are, which is amazing. But that I have found in the hundreds of twins that I've met and hugged now is actually rare. And there's a whole level of complication around the twin loss experience, of reminding them that the twin has passed. There's a whole bunch of complications around the interpersonal dynamics. So I want to assure you that for some, that's normal. You're like, oh, how can it be normal to have your family beat you down? It's what it demonstrates is their lack of emotional maturity and how to deal with this very difficult experience. That's what that demonstrates. It is not at all a reflection on you, dear twins. So please, please try hard not to personalize it. It is a reflection of where they are at in their emotional maturity. And part of the reason why turning twin loss into living twinfully is so powerful for us as a twin unity is it's a guide to helping you mature emotionally and gain tools that you never knew you needed and put them into practice so that you can navigate your experience better, despite how the family is processing their experience, their grief, their whatever, okay? So I'm so sorry for all those twins out there that are struggling with their families and are not getting the support that they feel they deserve and believe that they should be getting. I totally understand that. There are tons of twins in our twin unity that are experiencing that. It breaks my heart. And I've just learned that they don't have the cognitive reasoning or the emotional maturity to process and deal with their own grief, let alone help you deal with yours, which, by the way, is super, super complicated because of your shared womb experience. Make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help? I hope that assures some of you.
Can I read another question from Dawn?
Yes, of course, please.
I believe you said it's Barney. Did you go to school with twins, and how did you feel about being around them? I ask this because you're so much younger than I know with any twins until college.
So about a big part of that, Dawn, is that the birth rate of twins was significantly less when you were born versus when I was born. And so, and then now there's significantly more now than when I was born, because I'm 50 years into this journey, right? And so yes, there were absolutely 2 sets of twins that were in my high school. Shelby, how many sets of twins were in your high school? I thought there were more than 2 that you were aware of. So Shelby's my daughter. So if in case you all are wondering why I'm asking Shelby, for those of you who don't know, she's my daughter, and I believe she's on here, or she may have popped off, but
Hear me, by the way?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, when I was going to school, in our graduating class, there were at least, so me, Joe's, boom, boom, there were at least 3 or 4 in my graduating. Shelby's saying there's 4 just in her grade. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yes. And so Shelby is in her late 20s now. And so we are going to see a progression in increase of multiples in schools over the next several decades. Again, why this is so important and so valuable right now. There's tools in the Turning Twin Loss into Living Twinfully. It's literally a culmination of all the research that I've done over the last decade about twins, twin dynamics, complicated grief, neuroscience, biorhythms, like, really getting down into the neurology and the physiology and the biology of the twin dynamics, and grief and how that impacts us. It's putting it all into one concise, easy to read tool that will not only educate you about all of those things, but give you a place that you can process your own experience. There's questions after each of the course chapters. There's questions to ask yourself and room in it. There's lined pages for you to be able to answer those questions, to dive deep into that. And then with that, you have an opportunity to go back and review it at a later date and see how much your thought pattern has changed based on gaining these new tools. Okay, so it's not just a memoir. It's not just me telling my stories. There is a toolkit in here that I had not found. Like there are definitely books out there about twin loss. Absolutely, there are, and there's been a lot written in the last 5 years. It's definitely coming up in people's awareness much more than it did when I started this 10 years ago, started researching 10 years ago, which I love that. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you ordered your book. I appreciate it. And so with that awareness, what I found was it all seemed disconnected. Like I could read about twins and I could read about neuroscience and I could read about complicated grief, but to put it all into one book that could be specific to the twin loss community, that can help educate us and raise our awareness about how to function in this space and dealing with what we're dealing with. Absolutely. Why I was inspired to write the book. And so I'm very, very, speaking of.
Yeah, the book can definitely help the families too. So the parents of twins, the siblings of twins, everybody around the loving people, Mm-hmm. So I think it's perfect. There's a lot of comments here about the amount of twins that people grew up with. I had 8 twins in my senior class, says Stacy White. Wow.
We are 3.4% of the entire world population. A lot of twins don't know that.
Wow.
3.4% of the entire world population. There are a lot of us, and we are powerful. And I think it's important that, right now, because I've spent so much of my journey dealing with grief, my focus of these last several years has been grief. But what I've learned since doing this summer's tour is there's so much more that twins need to know about living sets of twins, about how powerful they are, and that the dynamic isn't just with their twin. And they don't even realize that. They haven't even thought about it. But you know what, guys, when you're out in the world, people are drawn to you. A lot of twins are like magnets. The ones that have some element of consciousness around that, they literally, people are drawn to us. And they're drawn to us because we raise people's vibration, because we help people, literally, we help them feel better in their body. They feel better when they're around us. It's a super, super powerful community. And as we draw in on each other and realize that, we can have a positive impact on the planet.
I love
Literally on the planet. It's incredible.
I hope I
I'm
can
excited.
better.
What's that?
I said I hope I can help people feel better. Melissa Lyons, good morning. Melissa, twin to Roslyn in Australia.
Oh, good morning, Melissa. I'm so glad you hopped on. Thank you for joining us. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading from that section. I will fully admit that is something that has been very difficult for me. When I had my surgery and I started my meditation practice, my quiet time practice, I really gave myself permission to allow not only my creator, but my twin to speak to me. It was then that I was inspired to do something like this, to write a book and will guide twins to a more fulfilling existence. That was many, many years ago. It was a decade ago. It has literally taken me a decade to come up with the courage to proceed. Why would someone listen to me? Why would someone take the time to read this book and go through the program with me? My thoughts of self-doubt persisted. I lacked confidence. Over the last couple of years, once I started the journey of 1,000 healing hugs and the Tide Blanket Project, I realized that there's a huge gap in the grief community in information about twin loss specifically and how to cope. It suddenly became clear why. After my major surgery, I was inspired to work with twins. I am just now beginning to understand why and what value can come from that. I have experienced the truth firsthand that it is in those quiet moments that we gain that clarity. And then over time, we develop the skills that we need to fulfill the purpose. Please keep in mind that when I was given the clarity, I didn't have the skills. I had to be willing to walk the path of personal growth, do the work to gain the skills so that I could ultimately pull something like this together for all of you.
Well, thank you. Good job, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I also believe that every single soul was sent here with a divine purpose. And I don't believe that our divine purpose is necessarily contingent on the fact that we are twins. I do believe that there are strengths and skill sets that we have that come from being twins that singletons don't necessarily experience. I believe that that is the twin power that we bring to this journey. Figuring out what our divine purpose is can be a huge part of the healing process in moving from twin loss to living twinfully. It gives you something else to focus your energy on, a way to navigate developing an aspect of your consciousness and your awareness of how you choose to interact with the world is extremely powerful. So I share with all my twins, when you lose your twin, you shift from having a twin to being one. And what does that mean? What does it mean for you to be a twin? And what magic do you bring to the planet? Because you're still here. Yay! Yay! I love that you're still here. And that's why I want you to read the book, because it will guide you through that. If you're really, really struggling with purpose and you're really, really struggling with what's next and figuring out how to navigate this experience, get the book, read the book, do the exercises, answer the questions, take the time to answer the questions. And it will help guide you through rewiring your brain and discovering an aspect of yourself you didn't even know you had, which is amazing.
Definitely.
Yay. Any other questions?
Not a lot of questions. Just, hey, from Kentucky, Joyce Blade. Carrie Davis, I love being us together. So everyone's loving being on this live with you.
Thank you.
On right now. Kyla Doppler, sorry if I'm saying your name. Just tuned in and I'm already smiling from Tasha's smile. Of course, so friggin' excited, she says.
Love that. Love that.
Joining the community today, I am inspired to help other twins with my story and have already expressed interest in helping with the twin blankets. Yay.
Love it. Wonderful. Melissa, yes, Melissa. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We are on a pause with the blankets right now. Just briefly, we've got some changes going on, some changes that have not yet been announced. It's a surprise, but Once those things get announced, then we will absolutely be relaunching, and we are looking for volunteers. So thank you so much for letting us know that you're interested in that. Carrie, write that name down. Carrie, that's on here, is one of the people that helps us manage the Type Like a project, and so does Lisa Watson. So it's super, super fun.
Oh, real quick, I do love what Tennyson Faye said. I love how you get into the science behind twinship and twin loss. I mean, Tasha is literally like the twin Joe Dispenza. I mean, she's really talking about how the brain works and how to get through your grief with rewiring your brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Nancy Segal is the doctor that is in Cal State Fullerton. She has committed over 30 years of her life to studying twins, and has done, out of all of the studies that I have researched, Nancy Segal is the one that I have found has had the greatest depth of knowledge and time spent with twins. And so one of her studies spanned over 20 years. Both identical and fraternal twins. So a lot of what I share with you, I learned from Nancy Segal. So if you ever want to, like, Tasha, where is this coming from? And please know that I recognize I need to be giving credit where I'm getting this information from. And so as you follow me and as you get involved with me more, you're going to hear more and more in the next months and years to come about where I'm getting this information. I will state specific studies because they are studies that I found. I will start including links in my comments for the different videos that I create. I will make sure that you don't have to just take my word for it. They are actual scientific studies that I read and I dove into. And then the difference between the studies and what I share with you is that I've taken the time to look at all of these different studies in all the different aspects of the experience. And as a twin lost twin, able to take that information and connect the dots and go, oh, okay, so here's complicated grief. We deal with identity crisis. What does that mean? And in a psychology world, how do we navigate an identity crisis? Well, twin lost twins aren't the only people that have an identity crisis, okay? So there's tons of studies out there about that. Complicated grief. Traumatic loss. Someone loses someone completely unexpectedly due to a murder or a car accident or blah, blah, blah. You know, there's all these things. There's lots of information about complicated grief. There's been lots of studies about brains and neural pathways and biorhythms. And when you see those images on Facebook of them scanning someone's body and they talk like about grounding and they're like, look at the energy. It's red, yellow, green, blue. And now look at it after they've grounded for a half an hour, red, yellow, green, blue, and how it looks different. Okay. There's literally science out there, studies that are being done about our bodies, our energy, and how they're impacted by our dynamics. So that's what I'm talking about. I have researched that. I have studied that. And then I've taken what I've learned about those different elements, about living sets of twins, about complicated grief, about neuroscience, and about how our body functions when we experience traumatic things, and pulled it all together into turning twin loss into living twinfully, a tool set to help guide us through this journey. That's how I got all that.
Cindy Martin Richards, that was Nancy Segal. And I don't know, I believe she's an author, yes, or she's a researcher?
She's a researcher out of California State Fullerton. And it's Nancy, and it's Segal is how you spell her last name. So feel free to look her up. She's phenomenal. She's got all kinds of videos on YouTube where she's got a whole group of twins that she has been working with and interviewing and so on. And so you can just follow her studies, look at what she's done. She's just an incredible scientist and very devoted to the multiple community. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Cool. We love nerds, so definitely look that up. She said this brings out the nerd. Okay, so not a lot of questions right now. Let's see. Just a lot of people kind of saying hi to each other again, supporting each other, trying to meet up. I love that. That's so cute.
I love that. I love that. So I want to talk, there were a lot of twins that didn't make it to the hug tour. But before I get into that, we have 3 minutes towards the next drawing. If you folks have purchased the book in the last 30 minutes and you want to be included in this half hour's drawing, make sure you forward it to kimberly.wise@twinful.com. We will add your name. We need to take Dawn off though, because she already won.
It does it automatically.
It does it automatically. Okay, great. So yeah, so we are going to absolutely do another drawing here in just a few minutes. So please, please, please submit your receipts over to Sissy. She's updating the wheel to make sure.
While she's getting ready to bring the wheel around, we did have a question that I missed. Sorry, Sonia. You want to take that?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Being so young when your twin passed, how or did you deal with any feelings of wanted to die with her? Oh, we talked about that on the show. I remember you were like, isn't that what's going to happen next? Like, don't I go?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. So when I was 4, my brain wasn't fully developed by any stretch of the imagination. So I had no cognitive reasoning around that. It wasn't until I was 10 that I realized that she was never going to come back. And then I waited. I knew for sure there was no way I was going to make it to adulthood. I was going to die. I was going to get sick. Something was going to happen just like she did. We're twins. That's what we do. I'm going to die too. And I didn't. I will tell you, I was disappointed when I made it into adulthood. I struggled a lot with that. I married a physical therapist, and he worked in the geriatric population doing home health physical therapy, and his patients died all the time. It was something that it was in our home all the time, talking about his patients passing, and every single time a patient passed, it completely triggered my grief. And then I would go through this whole mental battle of, when do I get to go? I'm tired of being here. I want to, I'm ready to move on. And then I had my daughter, and she really, really helped give me a place to focus my energy, and helped me get past some of that, for sure. I will say that whenever those difficult dates came, birthdays, anniversaries, all of that, I would still struggle, but it was something outside of that twin loss experience that helped me navigate. And then when I did almost die in my first surgery, they had a hard time waking me back up. I had a bad reaction to the anesthesia, and it was an extremely scary time. But the fact that I survived, my mom got really up close and personal and said, girlfriend, you need to figure this out. Because she realized that I wasn't living my purpose. She knew, she could tell I was struggling, and I was making choices that didn't align with my greatest good. And she knew it. And so she really got up in my face and was like, get with the program. And that's what started this whole journey for me. And I think everybody has a moment. Some it's over a period of time, and some it's a specific experience that they have that kind of shakes them and wakes them up and like, wait a minute, I could be doing this differently. Not necessarily better. I'm not saying better. I'm saying differently. If you don't enjoy where your life is at right now, and you don't have clarity, and you're struggling, then you have an opportunity to evolve. You have an opportunity to change how you're navigating. And that's what's so powerful about turning twin loss into living twinfully, is it literally gives you the tool set that I used to change how I was navigating, and then to ultimately accomplish all of these things. Look at these things. The over 500 tie blankets distributed, hugging 232 twins of the 1,000 so far, finishing a book. All of that is because of taking my own personal growth as an individual, taking ownership of that, and a desire to navigate differently because I was tired of being miserable. So if you're tired of being miserable, read my book. It will help you. It will help you. I promise. I promise. I promise. It will absolutely help you. Yay.
Are you guys ready? It's 5:01. Okay.
Yeah. Here she comes. Here she comes. We've got our next. There's 6 stickers in here. So you're going to get a mug and a t-shirt and a package of stickers. And thank you. Oh my gosh, there's so many more on there. That is so cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I see the little tab. Woo! Right on the edge.
Francesca.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Francesca. Woo, woo, woo. You are the second winner. Ta-da!
Way to go, Francesca.
Yay, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. Yay for you. Yay for you. Any other questions? We are literally, I can't believe it. A whole hour has passed already. You guys, whoop, 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 whoop. This is awesome. I'm so excited.
I love
What's that, Marie?
community. We got a congrats. Perfect. Congratulations. Karen McCormick says, hi, I'm late. You're never late, Karen. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so
Cindy,
glad you're here, Karen.
Tori,
These are the stickers.
Tori Gross is saying, this is so fun. Oh, we're so happy to have you. Okay.
These are the stickers. For those of you who haven't seen them yet, these are what is coming in the gift package. And thank you so much for buying the book. Thank you so much for supporting me today and being a part of this. Ask questions, please. I'm here. I am yours for a whole nother hour. And I know that you guys have questions you want to ask. I know there's curiosity about Twinful Twintasha. What led me here? Please feel free to ask questions.
Ask a question just because I'm a twin. So our parents said that when we were little, we had our own language. We didn't. Do you guys remember, or do any of the twins on right now remember hearing about that from your parents? Because it says 40%, I did a fun facts about twins, and it says 40% of twins invent their own language. That's amazing.
Yes. Yes. So what we've learned through the science about twins and language development, because they're again, their shared gestation experience, they are that whole like telepathic communication where they can just pick up on messages.
Mm-hmm.
That it isn't necessarily like they'll babble to each other, but it isn't language like we know language, where that part of the brain doesn't actually start developing until, you know, you're about a year old, year and a half, 2 years old, before you're like putting full sentences together and so on. And so what was ultimately discovered is, again, because of that shared womb experience, that our brain waves synchronize. And that's how we're able to pick up on messages. There's a lot of people that ask, you know, like they would punch one toy and say, oh, did you feel it? Like that's the big, very annoying joke that is in the twin community. And I saw a documentary on that actually. And so there is an element of truth where some twins are like, they can absolutely feel each other.
Yeah.
But it's different than when people are poking fun at them and be like, oh, let me punch your arm, and did the other twin feel it, whatever. I appreciate the humor in it, and I appreciate them making light of it. The reality is that there is a deep connection in your physicality, and there are twins absolutely that can feel each other. However, here's something that we don't like to talk about in the community. There's twins that can't feel each other, okay? And it doesn't mean that they're any less of a twin. It absolutely has nothing to do with that. A lot of times what happens is through the rearing experience, once they're out of the womb, there is challenges within that family dynamic. The parents don't understand the twin powers, they don't understand the twin dynamic, and they literally do things, and I don't think it's intentional, sometimes it might be, to sabotage that connection. And again, it comes from a lack of emotional maturity and consciousness and awareness around the twin dynamic that causes that to happen. And so then you end up having these, you know, you end up finding yourself at odds with each other. But that's not what happened in the womb and came out of the womb. That's through this lifetime's experiences. And as your brain is developing, it can actually create what feels like a disconnect. There are some twins that experience it in adulthood. They get along great all through their upbringing, and then they become adults, and all of a sudden there's all this friction. Well, some of that also is because they're working so hard to create their own identity, and they think that they have to break apart from each other. They have to break free from some of that dynamic. And so this is where I say the two souls, one body. There's some people in our community that believe that their souls split before they got into their bodies. And I challenge that. I want to challenge that notion. I believe that God creates complete souls and that you have your own soul. It's the split egg or the two eggs that creates the twinship in the womb, which makes your vessels unique. And so I want to reinforce the notion that we are an individual at the soul level. We are twins at the physical level, the two souls, two bodies, two souls, one body, and how we navigate that dynamic dictates what level of connection we feel. Obviously, I share, when we talk about, I've talked earlier in this live about self-doubt and negative self-talk and all of the things that prevented me from moving forward with my purpose, right? Well, when you're dealing with a twin dynamic and you're at odds with each other or you're struggling and so on, you can block that connection from your own mental thoughts that you put through your head about all the challenges you've had with your twin. You can literally change the bond based on your own thought patterns. And so when we hearken back to that soul commitment and that we were two souls that committed to this journey together first and foremost, and then learn about the science about being a twin, we can reconnect. And I had many, many, many conversations at Twins Days with lots of sets of twins that have been through all different kinds of machinations of this, where they were separate, where they didn't get along as kids, but they do as adults, or they did as kids and they don't as adults, and then they ultimately reconcile and they do, and some that are still estranged, like the whole gamut. We're all out there. It's all out there. The whole gamut is out there. And so giving ourselves permission to understand first the two souls, then the physical experience, then the human lifetime experience of our brain and our memories and how that can influence our chemistry. We did an exercise at Twin Support Group International's conference this year, where we broke into a small group and our facilitator literally walked us through, think about your most favorite memory with your twin. Now think about a very challenging memory, not with your twin or whatever, just a very, very difficult memory. How did you feel when you thought about the good memory? How did you feel when you thought about the bad memory? Just your thoughts changes the chemistry in your body. Mm-hmm. And science has dug very, very deeply into this, especially in the last decade, and all the knowledge about mental health and all of that. And so assuring twins, I want to assure you that just because in this human experience right here, right now, you may feel estranged from your twin because you aren't on the same page or you're not thinking the same thoughts and you're not communicating well or whatever, that does not diminish the womb experience. It doesn't mean that your wires weren't, or your brains weren't wired at the same time, that your biorhythms can't still synchronize. It absolutely can. It's getting your mental state out of the way, quieting your doubtful thoughts or quieting your anger, your human emotion of anger that's creating the division. That's what we need to pay attention to, because you've always been individuals with your two souls and you had two bodies that shared a womb experience. You were absolutely connected in that way. And that doesn't go away just because you're having, excuse my language, a shitty life. Okay? Because that's what happens. We have a bunch of challenges and struggles and struggles and struggles and struggles, and then we lose sight of the magic. And that's what happened to me. And so I wrote the book, because through being willing to do a deep dive in my own self-discovery, tapping into the power of my soul and my twin experience, my womb experience, just about my body, what it means to be a twin, suddenly I was able to quiet all of that chaos and tap into the magic and the power of being a twin. And that's what you can do. And the end result of that could actually lead to bonding again with your twin if you're currently estranged.
Yes. And I also believe that when you quiet down like that, this leads into this next question that Eileen Goldman wrote. Do a lot of your twins get signs from your twin? And I think when you do quiet down and you start, going through the process, that's when you can get those downloads and be closer to your twin and get signs. And I think right now what you're talking about is start talking about it now if you have a living twin, like you talked about with a lot of people at the fair, I think you said, talk about it now. What will the conversations be like? How will you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
Someone
Welcome to the book
else.
lunch party. I see a bunch of new people popping on here. Welcome to the book lunch party. Just want to share with you real quick, Dr. Maria Salas is a twin, although her twin is still alive. A very, very dear friend of mine has been in my life for nearly 2 decades, and I asked her to help me run this live today. So thank you, Dr. Maria, for being here. I'm so grateful. And for those twins that are brand new popping in here, thank you so much for joining us. I love you all so much. It's awesome.
Thank you for inviting me. And Carrie Davis Wagner says, I feel closer to her now because I now understand she is with me and around me all the time. I feel her. I love that.
Absolutely.
Carrie.
Absolutely. 444, baby girl. 444. Okay, so I would love to read another section of the book. Are we ready for that?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
For everyone, sorry. Yes, we're ready, Tasha.
One thing that Sissy's reminded me to remind all of you, once you get your book and you read it, please take a few moments to review it on Amazon. That absolutely helps us with our rating on Amazon, and a big part of why we're doing a book lunch party and doing these giveaways and giving away a trip to the ranch. All of those things is so that we can become easy to find. We want to be easy to find. We want to make sure that folks are struggling with twin loss and want some actual tools to help them navigate their journey, that they have a book that can guide them through navigating is really, really, really super important. Because like I said, when I started this journey 10 years ago of trying to find something to actually help me, I couldn't find something specific. There's a lot more information out there about twin loss now, especially in the last 5 years. But 10 years ago, you know, Dr. Brandt had a book, and there were a couple other books. Like there was like literally 5 books total that I could find. And none of them I felt actually gave me specific tools. Like they educated me about what was going on, but there wasn't any tools to help me. I wanted something to help me, you know, cope and help deal with it. Not just, oh yeah, you're going to have an identity crisis. Well, yeah, no kidding. How am I going to get over it? So that's what I was hoping to bring to you folks through this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read one more section. Well, actually I have 2 more, but for this half hour, I'm going to read one more right now. This is out of chapter 5. So much to be grateful for. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. This is chapter 6 in the G3 cycle, gratitude, the chapter about gratitude. When you consciously choose gratitude over grief, you consciously change the vibration and the energy of that you're experiencing. So gratitude is a much higher vibration than grief. Grief is a low vibration. So when you are choosing to find things to be grateful for, you're changing your physical experience. First within you, and then ultimately from the world around you. This is the phase where you can appreciate the awareness that you come to through the growth phase. When you are in the gratitude aspect of the cycle, you can look back on all the growth and all the areas that you struggled with. You can clearly see that which you have chosen to address. You will recognize the coping skills that you didn't have before your twin passed away. You will realize that which you have chosen to pursue. You have taken the time to study the map, the wisdom that has been shared by so many souls before you, and adopt a new approach that can bring you peace. In the growth phase, you consciously choose a path. Rather than life happening to you, you decide to focus on the areas where you can gain wisdom and clarity. Once you've aligned yourself with resources that give you coping skills that you didn't have before, you are then capable of acknowledging that your brain wasn't wired to navigate this world without your twin in the physical. You have done a great job of digging into that truth and figuring out how to rewire your brain. By the time you get to the gratitude portion of the cycle, you are able to look back on all of that and praise yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. It takes a huge amount of courage to be willing to step out of grief into growth, because what that means is that you're willing to look at yourself. You are willing to look at the areas that you historically have been lacking. By owning that, you are giving yourself permission to grow. Yay. Yay for all of you. I am so grateful.
Kimberly said something really amazing. Thank you for helping spread this important information in the world. I believe she's saying this to somebody. Yes, even counselors, including grief counselors, don't know this information and they need to. You're so right, Kimberly. And that is Sissy talking. She's dropping bombs.
Sissy is mine and Tanya's older sister. She was born 3 years before us. And so she was 7 when Tanya passed. We were together when we were told that she had passed away. We were at our grandmother's house. And so Kim very much took a huge part in my grief journey as a child and became very much a surrogate twin to me. I clung to her because I didn't understand. You know, I was just a little girl. I didn't understand what was going on. So yes, it's making a conscious choice, Joyce, to step out of grief and into growth. It's a huge step forward. And it took me 36 years after my twin passed. It was almost 4 full decades before I realized that that was what I needed to do, and then took ownership of my journey and actually took that step. So I am very, very excited that, yes, Kimberly did get me in touch with TTSGI. Absolutely. She had said that I knew about the support group beforehand, but I hadn't been involved. Like, I had become a member, but I wasn't active. I wasn't participating in any of the regional meetings or attending any of their conferences. And she said, you really need to do that. So she went to the TTSGI website, saw that there was not a regional coordinator in California at the time, and suggested that, because here I'd been doing all this personal growth. I hadn't been in TTSGI yet. I had my surgery, but I still hadn't met a twin lost twin. I did all the research, did all the studies, developed all these tools, and I'm like, now what? And she's like, well, I think you probably should talk to the support group and see if there's space for you there. Those might be your people. And literally within the first day, much like many of the twin lost twins on this, you get around the folks on TTSGI and how they can all relate. And I had not heard the word twin nor referred to myself as a twin so much in all my life. Like Tasha twin to Tanya, Tasha twin to Tanya, twin this, twin that, twin love, twin power, twin, you know, it was like twin, 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 twin. And I just loved it. It totally filled my twin bucket. And brought me so much joy and so much validation for my existence, literally. It felt like it validated my existence as a twin. And then I met Lisa. And then the whole world changed. It was awesome. Yeah, it was so cool to feel that twin dynamic with Lisa, because again, I thought that died with my twin and I was so wrong. I've never been so proud to be wrong in all my life. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, comments. Someone's giving you very grateful for you. My counselor was a mom of twins, and her name was Cindy too, but she really didn't know how to help me. Tasha's wisdom helped me to live twinfully. Oh, I love that. I have been going to counseling. This is Diana Smith. I've been going to counseling for 7 years, and there's no support groups counseling for twin loss in her area. Sonia Garcia, I believe that twins are not only connected to us, but everyone that they love. My baby son was 5 when he passed, but we had just left her home. Oh, got it. On her deathbed. We weren't home 5 minutes when he started crying and told me she had died. They know. They know. Do you see a lot of this in your research? I mean, I believe in general kids are closer to creator anyway,
well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, okay, remember, we start our twin life cycle as 2 souls, right? Well, those little ones just came through the chute. Right?
Yeah.
And like they don't have all the life experience and all of the, you know, things that happen to us that kind of block all of that, right? So yeah, absolutely. The younger ones, definitely I feel are in tune. There's a lot of videos and so on about they can even talk about past lives. You know, they can talk about their past lifetimes. In fact, I just saw a video about a little boy who knew that he died in the 9/11 tragedy, and he was reincarnated and talked about his death and talked about what happened to him. And so, yeah, there's so much magic in and strength and power and consciousness, you know, in understanding the soul dynamic. You know, even in faith, we talk about the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And, you know, I believe that there's me, myself, and I believe that there's a reason why we have a body, mind, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And our soul comes from the Holy Spirit. And there is nothing more pure, more divine, more powerful than the Holy Spirit. And when we give ourselves permission to acknowledge that our soul is what is most powerful in our human experience and lean into that soul connection to our Creator, we open ourselves up to a whole level of understanding and awareness that a lot of folks don't have if they're not, you know, if they aren't a person that subscribes to that notion. And so I have found that that has been extremely empowering for me and has been an element of encouragement for me tremendously. Absolutely. And I do the little ones help us because they just got here from heaven, and it's super, super cool to see them to learn and discover this world, but they come to us with that spiritual essence and that knowingness. They just know, and I love that they know. And I hope that our world evolves in such a way that we no longer try to train that out of people, that we actually encourage our little ones to lean in to that knowledge and that universal knowledge, that Holy Spirit knowledge that is so powerful and can guide us and help us make good choices. Yeah,
Definitely.
it's incredible.
A lot of the kids coming in right now, and especially the ones that might be doing more homeschooling instead of going to strict institutions where they kind of just start losing some of that stuff. I think if we're conscious of it, we will keep teaching intuitiveness.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for those of you, if you're buying books, make sure you send your receipts in to kimberly.wise@twinful.com. We are about ready to do another drawing in 6 minutes. So kimberly.wise@twinful.com. Your names stay on that spinner. So please make sure you get your orders in and let her know that you've made your purchase of this incredible book. Not just my story, but a guide to help you. Tools, actual tools that you can implement to help you navigate your twin loss experience. But in truth, as Maria has stated, any grief experience, the G3 cycle is for anybody going through grief. Help understand how grief impacts your body, and ultimately how you can make the conscious choice to step into growth and ultimately be able to be grateful for the life that you shared with that individual that's no longer with you.
Lisa's for sure saying, I'm going to win this time.
Oh. Did you buy your book? No, okay. Yes. Yeah. So has everybody seen the stickers? I know we have a bunch of new people on here. There's the 4 Deep Breaths sticker, Journey of 1,000 Healing Hugs sticker, Little Hug Bug sticker.
I have a question while you're showing stickers. What was the reception that you got this summer when you were on your tour and everything?
So, well, sweetheart, I went to 22 cities. So which, what do you mean?
Overall. I mean, yeah, overall.
So we hugged 92 twins. I mean, it was huge. We hugged 92 twins. I had a goal to hug 60. And so we blew that number out of the water, which was incredible. It was the interesting paradigm for me was at the Twinless Twin Support Group conference. When I started there were a bunch of twins that had not, or they had seen me posting, and so they immediately came to me and hugged me, which was amazing. By the end of the conference, there were twins that had not heard about me, knew nothing about Twinful, let alone the Journey of 1,000 Healing Hugs. And there were twins that had hugged me that were like, hey, you need to go hug Tasha. No, God, come hug Tasha. Like, I didn't have to talk to anybody by the end. I was literally the morning of the conference was over, and I had my bug, and I was leaving the hotel. I had someone come and knock on my window so he could get a hug. It was insane. So it felt like the paradigm had shifted, and I was no longer having to ask, and people started seeking me, which was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then the same thing happened at Twin Stays. You know, I started out, they have a fan club, they have a Facebook group, and I was posting, and people immediately came up to me But by the end, there were folks that were like, hey, you come meet Tasha. They were bringing them to me so that they could hear about the power of being a twin. And, these were living sets of twins. It wasn't even necessarily twin loss. But there were folks that were just super, super impacted by the message, because some of them were like, they're adult twins, and they just enjoyed living the life of a twin, and they never even considered looking into the science behind it and why are they so unique and what actually is happening in their body, or even the soul aspect of it, and just making them conscious of this dynamics of being a twin, and helping educate them before their twin dies. Like that just, it blew me away to see how receptive the living twins were to that message, because I wasn't expecting that. I thought that it would be hard for them. So I was overjoyed at how receptive they were. Oh, and I came to a new awareness while I was there, by the way.
Okay. This is
something that I'm super excited about.
Okay.
Super excited. Did y'all know that Elvis Presley was a twin lost twin? His identical twin passed at birth. Did everybody know that?
I knew that.
Yeah, well, there's some twins out there that don't know that. But guess what?
That was Aaron Presley.
Aaron Presley. Identical twins. Could you imagine if there were two of them out? Anyways, what a world this would have been if they had both lived. By the way, I am the second most famous twin lost twin on the planet. That's what I realized. That's right, folks. You've got me all to yourselves. I don't have to share the stage with Elvis. That's right. La, 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 la. I started telling that at Twinsies, and the twins howled with laughter. They thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and I agree with them. So.
Oh, wow. I knew that, but a lot of people are saying yes, yes, and yep, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So, and
yes.
Then it is 5:29. So Kimberly did post her email again. We've got another minute or two probably, but it's kimberly.wise@twinful.com. kimberly.wise@twinful.com. So go ahead and get that in, because the raffle is coming up.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be awesome. I have not been ringing my bell. I was supposed to ring a bell every time we sold a book. So here's my bell.
Dawn, you and me both. I want what you're having, Tasha. Like, we want that energy and everything. Oh my God, hilarious. That's so funny.
Yes. Well, I will share with you. My daughter would probably be able to speak to this more than me, or even my sister. I definitely love having a positive vibe and positive energy into the world. It's important to me that I help people feel better. However, I am a twin and can pick up on the negative vibes just as much.
Oh, man. And she.
Yes, yes. And so please know that, yes, I'm like this most of the time, but I do have a season when, I have times of the day, around nap time, actually, when I don't have as much energy and I'm not as positive. And after this event, I'm probably going to go take a nap. But this is your little gift package. You guys, you see my lives. You know how much I'm on Facebook when I'm doing my morning ritual, and I drink out of my Twinful mug quite a bit. Okay, so just know, as I said earlier, for those of you who are new to the live, if you're drinking your coffee out of your Twinful mug, that you're drinking coffee with me. And if for some reason you don't win this gift, know that you can get this at twinful.com. Okay. We do have merchandise. There's a little store there, and they're not very expensive. So if you're like, dang it, I didn't win, but you still want a mug, go ahead. The stickers are there too. So there's 6 stickers in here, and this is a tour t-shirt with all the cities. Yep.
Why not? We're drinking coffee with you in the morning. Joy says, I need a new coffee mug. Go get one, Joy. Lisa still thinks she's winning. New coffee mug coming to Illinois. Oh, she's so excited. So
love it. Yes, please do. And so here's the other thing. There's a couple things that will help me, folks. Again, after you read the book, please do a review. That's going to help tremendously. Thank you so much. The other thing that will help me is please share with your other twin lost twins. Not all twin lost twins know about Tasha yet. And they don't know about Twinful, and they don't know about the book. But, you know, I'm super excited about the momentum that we're building from this year's cross-country tour and the book. And like, there's a lot of really exciting positivity going into our community right now. So if you have a twin and you know they're struggling, you're like, hey, check this out. This might help. You know, I do everything I can to go live consistently and bring out positive messages, and I'm on all the platforms and I'm doing all the things, but I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. So please, if you know, and you can go to my video library, there's a whole video library, and in the titles, it talks about the specific subject. You know, if you go to YouTube and you go to the playlists, there is specific topics about, you know, dealing with twin grief and so on. You can go to those playlists and look at the titles and see which one is the thing you're dealing with. There's stuff on identity crisis. There's stuff on survivor's guilt. There's stuff on, you know, there's so much. There's a wealth of knowledge there. You know, a lot of it ended up in the book. Okay. But please share with your friends and family and twins and just people in general. That would help me tremendously. Write a review on the book. Once you have the book and read it, please do a review and let people know that there's a tool. It's not just Tasha's story. There's an actual tool to help you navigate. Are we ready, Sissy?
Yeah.
She's ready. She's going to come over. We're going to spin the wheel. Lisa Watson is convinced she's going to win. My soul, what's wrong with me? It's like a button on the fuzzy tree. I'm as a bug, I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah, yeah.
Cindy, tripping twin.
Yay,
Cindy.
tripping twin, woohoo! Yay for you! Yay for you! Ta-da! Is she still here? Cindy, are you still here? Oh boy.
She just
What's-
asked me.
What's her last name, Tosh?
It just said tripping twin, so I don't know her last
Yeah.
name.
So, I did see you. Is that you, Cindy Martin
Oh,
Richards?
it's Martin. Cindy Martin Richards. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh.
I
Okay,
did.
so Cindy's our East Tennessee twin that I told the story yesterday about Cherie and the shack and her also being a twin lost twin. That's Cindy. And she's incredible. Guys, if you have not yet met Cindy, she's amazing. And I'm pretty sure she's coming to conference next year because it's in Tennessee.
Oh.
If I have to drive over there and drag her, Cindy, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. Yay, Cindy, I'm so excited. That's awesome. Woo
Maybe-
woo. So for those of you that have won so far, please send us your t-shirt size. You can send it to Kimberly so we can make sure we send you the right t-shirt. Okay. And we have all the way from small all the way up to 5X, but I mean, that's for my husband because, you know, he's a big guy. Yes, I'm so excited. Love it. Any questions? Woo-hoo.
Congratulating Cindy right now. She said, drag me there. Oh, thank you, I may let you do that.
You gotta go. Okay. Man, we are 20 minutes from the end. Like, we're gonna do another drawing in like just a few minutes because we wanted to do it. I mean, it's 5:36 already, and we're gonna do it at 5:55. So, y'all, if you want to be in for the last drawing, we have one more gift package that we're gonna give away before the end of this event. Please, please, please get your receipts over to Sissy. I see that wheel filling up. That is so exciting. Get your receipts over. Come on, twinnies. Get your book, send in the receipts, win a prize. That's what we're doing here. And then again, you will be put in the big drawing for the all expense paid trip to the ranch. What does that mean? That means I'm buying your plane ticket. That's what that means. Because all the other expenses are already paid when you come to the ranch. I pick you up at the airport, I feed you, I put you in a beautiful comfy bed, and it's an amazing experience. So So I'm buying your plane ticket. That's what that means. Okay. So make sure you get yourself in there.
Alan, I'm seeing your question. Also, I want to get to Allison Butler. Where's it at on the site? I can't find it. I don't know what you're talking about, Allison, as far as t-shirt, mugs, maybe kind of
So
say a
for,
little.
I'll help with that.
Kim's going to help,
Okay.
but for the book.
And then for Alan, I did see this before and I didn't get to it. Can you say a little bit about absorbing your twins' good or bad habits?
So yes, Alan, after your twin passes, right? So let's clarify. 2 souls, right? 2 souls go into 2 bodies. And when your twin still has their physical body, they develop their own habits, personality, and way of navigating, right? Yeah, we know this.
Mm-hmm.
When your twin gives up their body, now you have 2 souls in 1 body. 2 souls, 1 body. So why do we start absorbing, or it feels like we're kind of navigating the world as though our twin, like we're taking on some of their good or bad habits, right? Or we're starting to function like they did. That's why, Alan, that's why. Because you're sharing your vessel with your twin. Literally, that's what's happening. And so it is very, very common with twins whose twins have passed away that they start taking on some attributes of their twin. And I believe, now has that scientifically proven? No. Trying to get science to talk about the spirit realm is extremely difficult. This is my understanding based on this research I've done about studies, about the physical experience of folks and what I've experienced in a soul, in my spiritual understanding. And guess who's decided to join the party? Give me 1 second. I don't know if you can hear her, but I can hear her. And she has decided to join us. It's little baby Coco. And she's going over to see Sissy. Come here, Coco. I think the twins want to see you. Come here. Yeah. Here she is. This is Coco. This is my baby Yorkshire Terrier. She doesn't have any teeth, which is why her little tongue sticks out. And that was from her previous owners not taking good care of her. We rescued her during COVID. So anyways, my understanding when I get my downloads, as Maria calls it, when I get into my quiet time and I ask questions, I want my twin, I want God, I want whatever that is communicating with me to share wisdom and understanding. I ask questions like that about us absorbing our twins' dynamics. And, I think some of it is our way of having like a testament to them or feeling connected to them. But I do fully believe my twin. Let me tell you a little something about my twin. My twin is extremely bossy. And ever since we were little has always told me what to do. That's just been, I have so many stories from my family about she would do our little twin talk in my ear and I'd go run off and do whatever she told me to. And she would literally howl with laughter, especially when I got in trouble. She thought that was so funny. And she thought I think she felt it was cool that she could boss me around, basically. So when I go into my quiet time, when I was struggling so much with my identity and just navigating the world, when I go into my quiet time, I ask my twin and questions like these come up. And I stay in a very peaceful, quiet space and I gain clarity. And I think all of us have that power and ability to do that we can go into that quiet space. We can connect with our twin. We can ask them questions and they will communicate with us just like they did when we came out of the womb before we could talk. When you have that twin language, that language doesn't die. That comes from a soul experience. And, I believe that we communicated with our twins well before we had our vessels. And that's what you tap into and get some clarity about what, the things that you're struggling with and the things that you need clarity on. Absolutely.
You're like, Anya, could you boss me right now? Boss me right now.
Like, I have many twins saying, your twins got you super busy. I'm like, yeah. Love her. She's got me running around like a crazy woman, literally. Absolutely. So I had one more section before we wrap up that I wanted to read to you folks. We're coming down to the end. We only have 20 minutes left, 18 minutes left of this. Please make sure you get your book receipts over to Kim so that we can put you in the last drawing, okay? So let's make sure we do that. Once you have determined, hang on, let me tell you. This is chapter 8. Acknowledge it is a cycle. Okay, grief, growth, gratitude, it's a cycle. Okay, so it's constantly moving. That's why your grief isn't a life sentence, but it's also why you're never completely free of it, right? Because it's part of the cycle. So you will experience moments of grief through your entire life. That's part of being human. You're welcome. It also means we experience gratitude our entire life if we choose to. That's the difference. We get to decide. We get to decide where we focus our energy. So I love that. Once you have determined the type of life you want to live moving forward, a joyful life, a wonderful life, a beautiful life, a twinful life, give it over to your creator in that quiet space, that quiet time that you are spending now on a daily basis, hopefully. By giving it over to your creator, your twin, you get to watch them work their magic, follow where you are led, and watch the life you envision unfold in front of you. I think the biggest lesson that I learned through embracing the grief, growth, and gratitude cycle is that the power is in the stillness. By envisioning the life I want and then letting it go and giving it over to my creator and my twin, it has been profoundly how the synergy between the elements of my life have fallen together. It has been profound how the synergy between the elements of my life have fallen together. Despite my moments of doubt, of lack of confidence, and facing roadblocks, the twins that have been a part of the journey of 1,000 healing hugs, the twins that have helped with the Tie Blanket Project, from the volunteers to the twins who have received them, everything has become bigger and better, more amazing and more fulfilling than anything I had ever envisioned in my own imagination. It has been absolutely phenomenal, but it took me being willing to move forward, being willing to understand that I was going to evolve, and being willing to be still so that I could be guided to my greatest good. It's important. It's important for you to know that you can be guided to your greatest good, and that it takes an element of faith. It does take an element of faith, and that bond and commitment that was created in heaven long before you had your vessels is still very much there. And if you subscribe to that notion, then you can experience it. And that's my prayer for you. When I go into my quiet space now, I pray for all the twins whose twins have passed. I pray to all the twins who are already in heaven, who got there first. And I ask them to be present and be ready tonight when I go to bed and I have my quiet time with my creator and my twin. I will ask my twin to hug all of your twins, all of the ones that took the step of faith to buy this book, to be willing to approach life differently, to be willing to gain new tools, and that your twin will guide you through this process, that while you're journaling and you're answering the questions and you're opening your consciousness to a new way of functioning so that you can live a fulfilling life with 2 souls, 1 body, that you're open to that, and that you'll gain the skills that you need to carry on until you lose your vessel. Because when we finish the twin life cycle, that last vessel is lost and we're reunited in heaven and we go back to being 2 souls. That's finishing the twin life cycle. And nobody's talking about the 2 souls, 1 body season, but every set of twin goes through it. Like I said in the beginning of this live, every set of twins go through it, and you don't know which one it's going to be that's going to get to go first to heaven and who's going to have to stay here. The sooner you start talking about it, if your twin is still alive, if you're on this live and your twin is still alive, the sooner you start talking about it, the better. But if you're not, If your twin is not still alive, then practice, get into that practice of having that daily quiet time and ask them to guide you to what is going to be the signs. If you didn't get to talk about it now. And I promise you, they will let you know. And when you get the truth bumps, it's goosebumps from your twin. When you get the truth bumps, just know that is your twin showing up in a mighty, mighty powerful way for you. And embrace that as truth, because it will comfort you and it will help you feel better through this season of your journey. Of course, Eileen.
Yeah, you're getting
Thank you for being
love.
here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you listening and being open. I appreciate you being open. We're super, super close to the last drawing. We're going to be doing it here in just a few minutes. So please, please, please make sure you get your receipt over to Kimmy. She's loading all that stuff up into the little wheel. And we've got one more gift package to give away. And then, like I said, don't forget, all of you are going to be in the drawing. Please share if you're super excited and you want other twin lost twins or family members of twins. If you have family members that are struggling with the loss of your twin, like, and they're like, you know, the ones that are having a really hard time. And I know for us, well, I'm the twin. I get it. Okay. I mean, it's different for us. Okay. I get that it's different, but you can still have a consciousness about someone else experiencing a loss. There's wisdom in this book that will help them as well. So please share the book if you find value in it. Please let your loved ones, your twins' friends, those are people that could potentially benefit from it as well, because your twins' friends might be struggling with the fact that they're gone. So just share the book. I would appreciate it. Write your review. I would appreciate it. Let people know that there's a tool available to them now. And we're going to draw pretty soon in about 7 minutes. We're going to do a drawing. So if you haven't gotten the book already, please do so. Get your receipt over to Kim, and we're going to do another drawing. This has been so fun. This has been so fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Any other questions? We're going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes. Does anybody have any other questions?
There weren't any questions that came up. Someone might say something here in just a little bit. Just everyone was sending you a lot of love. Joyce Blade, love you so much. Tasha sending, we love our favorite Twinful twin Tasha. Twin hugs from Diana Smith. Don't cry, makes me cry from Cindy Martin Richards. Yeah, and just people are thanking you so much for this space that you're holding for everybody and the twins, all of us.
Yes.
People definitely want to share. I want to share this. In fact, someone saw my post, Tasha.
Yay.
Instagram or Facebook, I can't remember, and they reached out to me and said, like, what is this? My cousin lost her twin, and that cousin just happened to know you already. So that was really interesting. Small world stuff.
Like I said, no, not at all. I am the second most famous twin lost twin on the planet. Is all I'm
There
saying.
you go.
I'm just saying. Like, they knew you already. Well, yeah, of course. Elvis Presley and me. Yeah. No.
Carrie Davis Wagner, of course you did. She's like, I got 2 books, 2 Z's, of course.
Yes. Share with your mom, Carrie. Like, I'm sure she would probably enjoy it as well. Oh, and by the way, let me clarify why this whole Elvis Presley Twinful Twin Tasha thing is such a thing. My mom's absolute favorite musician when she was growing up was Elvis Presley. And we listened to Elvis Presley all the time. We danced to his music, we sang his music, and in fact, when she was passing away, literally, when she was passing away, the song that she was playing in the room while she was passing was an Elvis Presley song. So there is more to that story. You know, it's not an ego-driven thing at all. It's really leaning into my mom and honoring her and her relationship with Elvis. I think she is probably in heaven with Elvis, howling with laughter that I'm actually claiming that. And I think that she would totally support that message.
I support it totally. Your hubby says you are twin amazing, Tasha. I love
My husband said that. I am twin amazing.
And
that is awesome.
So
Thank you.
That's so cute about your mom. Yeah, my mom was pregnant with us when she would go see him.
Okay, so I have a twin asking about the bricks. So let's talk briefly about the bricks. There are lots of memorials on this planet for all different types of things, from veterans, and I am not aware of a memorial for twins. And so here at the Butterfly Ranch in Jackson, California, we have 3 walkways that are terrible. If you go to my page and watch the live I did just a couple days ago, you'll see they have these little tiny pebbles. I don't know who put the walkways in, but they're terrible and they're very hard to maintain. So we've decided we want to replace all of those terrible walkways with bricks. And half the bricks are going to have nothing on them. And the other half the bricks are going to have twin names on them. It's twin A, twin 2, twin B. Okay, so it's always the firstborn, twin 2, twin B. And it's going to be a memorial. And I believe that someday, probably long after I'm gone, the Butterfly Ranch will be a part of a foundation that will continue to live on. And twins will help run it. And those brick walkways are going to be where your ancestors are going to want to come and see the memorial to you and your twin. So buy a brick. The brick help is the bricks are helping us fund the build out for the ranch. So the lodge is built out and our shop is built out, but we want to build out 8 tiny homes. And the funds from the bricks helps make that possible. So not only will it fund building out the memorial walkways, but it will also, there will be enough money there to fund the 8 tiny homes. There will be 2 hobbit houses, 2 tree houses, 2 yurts, and 2 fairy cottages. And my goal is actually to have the fairy cottages completed by the end of 2024, because we have a clearing for where we want to put those. So those will be the first tiny houses that are built out. Twins Days Festival, we did find the contractor that wants to help us with the project. And so we're super, super excited about that. And that's your update on the bricks. So if you want to help build out the memorial and the sanctuary for twin lost twins, helping, living sets of twins can come help. It's built for twins by twins. Your twin has not have to pass to be able to come and help. So you're absolutely welcome to come help and buy a brick. It'll be amazing.
You had a few more minutes before your next drawing. I was wondering, someone had a question. Did you have a video about becoming a butterfly? Does that sound familiar?
Becoming a butterfly. Well, I do talk a lot about with the twins about how when our twin passes away, we go into our chrysalis, and when we do that in the grief aspect of the G3 cycle, we go into our chrysalis and we're in grief, and we go through a transformation when we make the decision, when we're tired of being in our chrysalis and we're ready to come out and spread our wings. That's when we initiate the growth aspect and we develop coping skills. Then we're able to break out of the chrysalis, and our life of gratitude is we step out of that chrysalis and we have our butterfly wings. Our twins, when they pass, they get their angel wings. We go through our transformational season and we gain our butterfly wings until we lose our vessel, and then we earn our angel wings.
I love that.
And the butterfly, that's why we call it the Butterfly Ranch, because this is where we want twin lost twins to be able to come and tap into that, process their grief, start the growth process, start to take that step, making that conscious choice to grow and gain just a new awareness. Let's just gain a new awareness. I don't want to be held hostage by my twins passing. I have my own soul. I have my own mind. I have my own body. I was held hostage for almost 4 decades. I don't want that for anyone. I don't want that for anyone. That's why turning twin loss into living twinfully is so important to me, because everything that's in that book is the tools that I implemented to make it possible to do everything I'm doing for all of you. There's no way I could have done any of what I'm doing had I not implemented those tools. And now we're ready for our last drawing, because we got to wrap up in 4 minutes. Sissy, are you ready?
Yes.
Here she comes. We're going to do it. We're going to do our last drawing and we are going to wrap up.
Okay.
We are going to wrap up.
Tamara, I've seen all the butterflies too. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Are we ready?
Allison Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Yay! Yay, Allison! I'm so excited. I'm so glad you were here. I'm glad you bought your book. That is so awesome. Woohoo! So, what's our gift package? It's a mug. It's the 6-sticker collection and a tour t-shirt. Just so everyone knows, the rest of our tour t-shirts are going to be online on twinful.com. So if you didn't get a tour t-shirt while I was on tour and you want one, I will let you know when they are live so that you can order a tour t-shirt. We got a limited. We got through about half of them. So we have a limited amount. So if that's something that you would like to have, it's, you know, limited edition, whatever. I'm sure it's going to be something super important someday when I'm long gone. Tasha's first cross-country tour t-shirt. Yay. So twinful.com is where the shop is. There's a little shopping cart and you can go shopping there. You can get mugs, you can get stickers, you can get t-shirts. It's all there. We will be joining you again at 4 p.m. just for a short little time to do the drawing for the all expense paid trip to the ranch. Super, super, super exciting. So, so grateful that all of you have been here. Thank you for spending your evening with me. Thank you for buying the book. Thank you for writing the reviews once you've read it. Thank you for sharing with your loved ones and other twins in the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are such a gift to me. Come to the ranch and meet Coco. She's a little love bug.
Everyone's saying thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Tasha, for doing this for us. So a lot of gratitude out there. And then again, kimberly.wise at twinful.com is
right. So folks know that we are adding names to that drawing all the way until Sunday. So for any of you who hop on this live when we're no longer live and you watch this and you're like, oh, I wasn't there, darn, I missed it. No. We're collecting all the receipts for all the books that are sold between now and Sunday. And we're going to enter that into the drawing on Sunday. So you still have a chance to win a trip to the ranch, which would be amazing. Would love to have more twins out here. And please, please make sure you give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about the book. Do the review. I'm so, so grateful for all of you. So much love. I love all the hearts. Thank you so much. You know I love you. It's your favorite Twinful twin, Tasha. Coming at you live from the Butterfly Ranch.
Woo!
Make it a great night.
Thank you.